Anybody who knows anything about Australia knows that we were once a penal colony. In other words, people were sent here to be punished. They were sent here to be isolated from polite society and suffer unimaginable isolation. Australia was a lovely destination of misfits. You know, the kind of people society don't want around. Perhaps that's why I embrace Australia so much. I'm a bit of a misfit myself. Anyway, if Australia was where convicts were sent, here in Tasmania we got the worst. You had to be a badass son of a bitch to be sent here. And today we're checking out one of the places convicts feared the most. It's an old coal mine in Southern Tasmania, located at Lime Bay, not too far from historic Port Arthur. As you can see, there's not much left of the place. Just a few ruins and a handful of remaining cells where you can sit down and really feel what it must have been like to be a convict that was sent to Australia. You see, this facility was established just a few short years after the famous Port Arthur jail was built. The Port Arthur facility was a hellish place, and convicts came here to work from the Port Arthur facility as a form of punishment. Convicts really feared being sent here. Can you imagine that? One of the most feared penitentiaries of its kind, just a stone's throw away, and this place was a punishment? Locked in a tiny cell, in the dark, then forced to work underground in a myriad of mines with little more than candlelight. What is little known is that within those mines were underground cells. Prisoners came to fear those the most, as being confined in those felt like being buried alive. So why do I come to what many would regard as little more than a pile of rocks? Because these rocks talk to me. They remind me to be grateful for the life I have and the opportunities that are there for the taking. It's too easy to get caught up in social media likes, the endless push for status, or worrying what people think of us. Places like this are grounding and help us to put our gripes into perspective. And it's quite sobering being here, the atmosphere and being around all these ruins and going into the cells, and it only gives a minute split second in time of what it really truly doesn't even scrape the surface of what it would have felt like to be locked away in one of those dark, dingy cells for punishment for a crime that maybe some of them might even seem a little bit trivial by today's standards. I believe, of course, some of the criminals that were sent to Tasmania were, of course, your hardened criminals, your murderers, your rapists, down to your pickpockets, down to your petty crimes, but also the crime of being hungry and stealing a loaf of bread. the whole of Tasmania's coal supply was courtesy of the labour of these convicts. And it's really quite sobering when you're here to feel the energy of this place. And also, I guess it gives me a sense of realising how grateful I am to be alive in these times, and that you and I have got free will, basically. We wouldn't get punished if we were to steal a loaf of bread. We wouldn't be punished and sent to the other side of the world to suffer in this isolated place and be forgotten by friends and family. It's just, we take our freedom and our liberties for granted, I think. And this place is quite sobering and makes me realise that.